Joining us this morning is Chris Breck from State Farm Insurance. How you doing, Chris?
Doing great, Pat. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. Thank you for bailing me out. I lost my co-hostess this morning. Chris said I can come in.
Sure.
Because I know I had Martha on yesterday, and Martha says, Chris hasn't been in to talk about the alumni game. I go, you know what? We talked about it, but we never made it happen.
Yeah.
So we're going to do it today. When is it?
It is next Friday, June 26th. So I was actually going to get a hold of you, and Martha stopped in the office and said, when are you going on Pat's? And I said, well, I gotta email him this morning. She goes, well, he doesn't have anybody coming on tomorrow.
Good for Martha.
So she's your new booking agent.
I guess.
So,
yeah, I'll take music. A good friend of mine for many years. Yeah. And yeah, she is correct. Brenda Cobb was supposed to be here today. Had to cancel out because of she's moving. She's moving to a new house. And when Chris emailed me yesterday, I says, this is perfect because I really want to know more about the alumni game because we talked about it last year. It was the first time.
Yep, last year was the first year we did it, and we had a really good time. It was a good success. A lot of people came out, so we decided to try it again, and we're gonna, I imagine we'll probably continue to do it as long as we can get guys that are willing to go out there and play football at an advanced age. And but it was a fun night. Well over 1,000 people came out last year.
Is that right?
Yeah, we sold because the main part of this is you have to sell the tickets in advance to make money. We contract with a company called Alumni Football USA. They actually bring all the equipment. They pay for the officiating. They provide insurance for the facilities, and they handle the actual organization of the game. So the deal is any tickets we sell in advance, we get 50% of the proceeds. But anything that's sold at the gate, any walk-up sales, they get all of that money. So we have to pre-sell all our tickets in advance to make
How are tickets selling?
Well, we just got tickets last Friday. So we've just started. But last year, we sold about 850 tickets in advance.
Wow.
And that doesn't count the kids that get in for free, because 10 and under get in for free. They sold about 450 walk-up because most of the people from Ashtabula did not buy their tickets in advance. So we know we had over 1,200 people, not even counting the kids, and we had about 100 kids from the junior cheer camp that were performing. So we estimate close to 1,500 people in attendance at the game last year.
Now you're playing Edgewood, right?
We're playing Edgewood again. That's who we played last year.
How much are tickets?
The tickets are $10 a piece. And with kids 10 and under getting in free, it's really not that bad a deal. Like for my family, if I'm only paying for my wife and I, that's $20 for a family of 5 to get in. That's actually, that's on par with the high school game, because those are $6 per adult and $3 per student. So $10 does sound like a lot, but the 10 and under get in free. So really, for the most part, that's any kid that's not in middle school is going to get in free for the event. And the proceeds, are going back to the Spark Complex.
If my memory serves me right, Edgewood killed us last year, didn't it?
Well, yeah. I think the final score was around 35-0.
I think so.
But I think it was only 6-0 at halftime. This last year was Edgewood's 4th year playing, so they've done this before, and you have to learn the pace. And at halftime, the guys kind of sat down, and they were advised, don't sit down, because you sit down, you're going to get gassed. And our starting quarterback got hurt, so we threw like 4 interceptions in the second half. And it kind of snowballed at the end there. But it actually, for the first half, really midway through the third quarter, it was a pretty close game.
But Connie had a lot of older guys playing.
Yeah,
some in the 50s maybe.
Yeah, they had a couple guys in their late 40s, early 50s, and they did have a more mature team. And the Edgewood team was kind of an Ashtabula County team. They had about a half dozen guys from Harbor and Lakeside, a couple guys from Jefferson, but their 4th year, they had to do it
Is this
tackle,
Chris?
Oh yeah, full contact equipment, high school rules. For the most part, it's high school rules. There are some limitations on blitzing, and you can only have like 4 guys on the line, so that you can't they try to put some rules in place to make it a little bit safer. Usually you just do an initial kickoff and then a kickoff at halftime. They don't do kickoffs after every touchdown because that's where a lot of people can get hurt. So they put some things in place to minimize. And, for the most part, there wasn't any major. I think one person, and he was 19, separated his shoulder last year. And then other than that, some bumps and bruises and things like that.
Well, Martha was telling me yesterday, Chris, that she thought that this year they've recruited younger players.
We've tried. We've tried to get some younger guys. Now there's still another father-son combo that's playing this year, and some of the new players are in their late 30s again. So. Sometimes you don't really know who all's going to play till the day of, but the Conneaut team's been practicing since April. So
how does this work now? Is there uniforms involved?
Yep, yeah. The company that puts this on, the day of the game, they will actually bring in a truckload of equipment, and they have purchased like the equipment that was used in the movie The Blind Side and in Friday Night Lights. So they've got like the same uniforms and all that stuff that's been used on these shows. And then they buy the same equipment that other high school programs use. They buy it all brand new, but you don't get the equipment till the day of the game. So all your practices, you're just practicing non-tackle. But the day of the game, they'll bring everything you need to play except for mouth guards. So the guys got to bring their own mouth guards and cleats. Now the Conneaut team, these guys decided to get their own jerseys. So they called up Sports and Ashtabula. That way they could all get their names on the back of the jerseys, get the numbers they want. So our players, we all have, Conneaut jerseys that they wear. And then the company will provide the pants, the helmet, the shoulder pads, all the gear that they need for the day of the game. And the Edgewood team, same thing. Now, some of these guys that have been doing this for a while, they have their own shoulder pads, they have their own helmets, they bring their own gear with them. But now Edgewood, like I said, this is their 5th season. Some of these guys play a couple of these games a year. They take it pretty serious.
I guess.
But it's all of the equipment's provided the day of the game. But like I said, the Conneaut guys do have their own jerseys that they wear.
If they didn't have their own jerseys, would the colors be similar?
They'd be similar, yeah. Like we bought the Navy jerseys and we used black uniforms from the company. So when you look at the pictures, it's because the Navy's so dark, it's pretty similar. But we outfit in the black gear that they provide, and then Edgewood has red gear that they provide.
So are you playing?
No, I have to do all the other stuff during the game. So
I think it's kind of neat that they get together, and I think last year they even had cheerleaders.
Yep, and there's cheerleaders this year too.
There is?
Yeah, there's alumni cheerleaders that'll be there. So I just talked to the head cheerleader last night, and they've got I think they got 7 women that are going to participate this year. Like I said, you never know. Between now and then, a couple more may decide they want to participate.
Yeah.
So, but there'll be alumni cheerleaders there.
That's great.
So yeah,
that's great. Hi, you're on the air.
Good morning, guys.
Hi,
Morning.
Ken.
Good. Hey, I got one question for that football. What's
Sure.
the age limit?
The only age limit is that you have to have graduated high school already. So technically, it'd be the minimum age of 18. But so we've got I think one guy that's 54. I think they've had guys in their 60s that have played at other schools. So there is no if someone came out that wanted to play, that was 85. I guess they could. It's up to them as far as their health. But we've had a couple 50-year-olds that have played at least locally. But
All right.
that's about the only limitation.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Thanks, Ken. Is there any physical examination needs to be done?
No, I mean they recommend that you talk to your doctor and you make sure that you're physically good to go. But like I said, these guys from Conneaut have been practicing since April, 2 days a week. So they've been most of them have been working out.
They knew it was coming up.
Yeah. I mean and some of the younger guys haven't been coming to practice, but they're 18, 19, 20 years old. So it's a little bit different for them than some of these guys in their late 30s that probably need to get back into shape a little bit.
Yeah, because you can pull a hamstring really easy. Throw your back out, whatever. if you haven't been doing that. Now these kids that are, like Chris says, that are 18, 19, 20 years old, and probably they've been keeping in shape. Usually they do at that age. But I think it'll be a lot of fun. Now, what time does the game start?
Game starts at 7 o'clock, and it's pretty much 7 o'clock on the dot. And it's same length as a high school game, so 9:30 it'll be wrapped up. But it's we'll have a little bit of beforehand. We'll probably open up gates around 6 o'clock because we do have and we'll talk about here in a little bit, but we do have a big Chinese auction that we do at the game, and it's. I'll get into a little bit more detail because it's huge, and it's for people that don't want to watch football or don't have an interest in seeing old guys play. You're going to want to come just for the Chinese auction because
Really?
it is very impressive when I give you a list of just some of the stuff we have so far.
Yeah, Martha said you had quite a list.
Yeah, and then at halftime, the junior cheer camp for the high school will be performing at the halftime show. And like I said, last year we had probably close to 100 girls that came out. They start their cheer camp Monday, and they'll go Monday through Thursday, and then they all come out and do the halftime show. So you can come out and watch that. So there's a lot of stuff going on. They'll be 50-50, and try to do some entertainment and stuff like that.
And this is at the stadium
Yep,
here.
it's at the Spark Complex.
Spark Complex.
Yep.
Hey, wanted you to straighten around, clear up. All the proceeds from the box office from the gate. Where's that money go?
Okay, from the ticket sale money, the pre-sale money, the pre-sale tickets that we do, that's where we make the profits. That is all going back to Care for Kids, which Care for Kids is the fundraising arm of the Conneaut Area City Schools that is putting the Spark Complex together. So that's Jerry Aney, Mark Wheeler, Nick Irochi, Mike Joslin, all of them that are the Care for Kids committee that has been building the Spark Complex.
Okay.
So everything and last year we raised about $6,800 that we donated right back to them, and they just put it right into the building fund to continue to enhance the Spark Complex.
Make improvements.
So yeah, everything that we raise from this event, which like I said, we want people to buy their tickets in advance because that's if you buy a ticket when you get there, that goes to the company that puts this on for us. That doesn't mean don't come. So you can still come because you can buy 50-50. That money's going to go to it. You can buy the Chinese auction tickets. That money goes to it. But if you know you're going to come, and even if it's the day of, we'll still be selling tickets the day of, and you can buy those tickets at my office, Chris Breck State Farm, or you can buy them at Port Conneaut Federal Credit Union, and they'll have them both at their Conneaut office and at their Ashtabula office. We wanted to make sure we had a location in Ashtabula for anybody that's coming from the Edgewood side, because we do want the Edgewood fans to participate, and we definitely want their money. So you can pick those up at the Port Conneaut office in both Conneaut or Ashtabula, or you can come to my office. And all of the guys that are playing for Conneaut have each been given tickets to sell. So we'll read off some of the names of guys that are on the roster so far, and if you know one of these guys, you can hit them up because they're trying to sell tickets too. But we know a lot of people came out last year. We're hoping even more come out this year, and just please buy your tickets in advance because that's how we can really raise the most money possible for the Spark Complex.
This is the alumni football game between Conneaut and Edgewood, which will be 7 o'clock next Friday,
June 26th.
June 26th. Maybe you could go over those tentative rosters
Yeah.
for both teams.
Yeah, I'll name off some of the guys that are on the tentative rosters for both teams. I'll start with the Edgewood roster, and I apologize if I get any of these names incorrect, but this is the roster they gave me as of about a week ago. Tyler Welton, Louis Wisnai, Anthony Magda, Joe Tren, Colin Moscarelli, Kyle Herron, Cole Baldwin, Peter Mackey, Aaron Lawrence, Robert Bales, Devin McCaleb, Matthew Widlitz, Matt Birch, Chris Chesness, Brandon Porter, Tyrone Barnes, Josh Bilby, Jacob Cardona, Brent Reinhardt, Ricky Cato, John Mitchell, Rob McKendry, Shay Knight, Justin Wiley, Jason Jones, Joe Riff, and Justin Rodriguez. So those are the guys they told me as of about a week ago.
For Edgewood.
For Edgewood. Some of those guys may change. They may add some guys, but that's their tentative roster. So that's some of the Edgewood guys. Now, for the Conneaut team, the home team, some of these guys played last year. Some of them are new to the team. But this is our tentative roster as of a week ago. We have Aaron Bowers, Brandon Luce, Tim Givens, Chris Stiltner, and Chris is actually the guy that came up with all of this originally and got me involved in this last year. Justin Sanford, Aslan Shearer, Brandon Hale, Matt Tentari, Rob Slayton, Kyle Butcher, Pat Carr, Tim Shoemaker Sr., who as of right now is the oldest guy on our roster as a 1982 graduate, Andy Hunt, Matthew Berrickman, Gary Tentari, Vincent Lucas, Jack Sabo, Tim Shoemaker Jr., so there's our father-son combo, Art Luke, Dale Drew, Dan Thompson, Billy Post, Joe Shore, Tim Campbell, Mark Robertson, Andy Olivas, Corey Porter, and Brian Duras. And Brian's our youngest guy on the roster. He just graduated this year.
Okay.
So that's our tentative roster. There could be some changes. I think they had some guys show up Saturday that might have been new, and you never know if someone tweaked a knee or pulled a hamstring.
Right.
So somebody could change on this, but that's kind of where we were. There's a couple other guys that played last year that we haven't heard back from yet that live out of town that may show up the day of. I know we had some of that happen last year. The guy showed up the day of and said, "Hey, we want to play," and great. We order a couple extra jerseys with no name on the back.
Sure,
so
sure.
if we need to throw somebody on, we can do that. So,
Okay.
but about 25, 30 guys per team is where we're looking at right now. So guys will be tired come the end of the game, and that's where having some young guys comes in handy. Which their team's a little bit younger than ours, but like I said, we've been practicing for a while, so we're Coach Rob Egger is the coach for Conneaut.
Yeah, I was going to confirm that with you. That is Robbie.
Yep, Rob Egger's our coach. Coached us last year. He's coaching again this year, and not to give away too many secrets, but we changed up the offense a little bit, so it'll be a little bit different than last year. We ran a lot of the wing T, the old school Conneaut offense, but we've changed it up a little bit so people want to come out and see some of the new offensive sets that they came up with, and hopefully it'll be some excitement.
It sounds like a lot of fun, and as you said, if you don't like football, there's a lot of things to do on the sidelines.
Absolutely.
And tell us some of that stuff with the Chinese auction,
Sure.
Chris.
Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about Chinese auctions.
I don't really.
So it took me some having people explain to me, how to run a Chinese auction and how to make them work. But the one thing I knew is that if we were going to do a Chinese auction, I wasn't worried about having 300 or 400 or 500 different lots and having a lot of different things. What I wanted to have is really nice, I shouldn't say really nice, but more substantial, have less lots but bigger prizes that people could win. So we have been, since January, we've actually been working on this. And what we've done is we've gone around and we've gotten donations, and we've packaged things together where we can to make larger items. And my understanding is when you usually go to a Chinese auction, there'll be basically nowadays there's like 2 auctions going on, where you'll have your regular auction that you buy your tickets and you put them in the buckets for, and then you have the bigger items where you buy separate tickets for those. It's all the same thing for us because we think everything is a bigger item. So we probably right now already have enough stuff to do about 80 lots. We're still getting donations coming in. I've got some of the items listed right now that I'll read through some of what we have. Because it's a football game and because I like football, we're very heavy on autographed items from the Cleveland Browns, who are my favorite team. So we had about 3 or 4 autographed items last year. They seemed to go over pretty well, so we kind of went over the top this year, and there's over a dozen different autographed items from current or former Cleveland Browns. So I'm going to start off with some of that stuff because that's the first things that we lined up. But before that, last year we got all the Conneaut alumni guys together to sign a football, and we did an alumni football that we had as an item, and we're going to do that again. So, if some of the family members want to get that as for one of the guys that are playing in the game, that's a neat item. There'll be an alumni football that'll be signed by all the Conneaut players. We're going to ask the Edgewood players to do the same thing. So, if one of the Edgewood fans wants to do that, so those will be 2 items that are available. There's a Mike Holmgren autograph football. So, former president of the Browns, Mike Holmgren, and former coach of the Packers. Pat Shermer autograph football, former Cleveland Browns coach. Eric Mangini autograph football, former Cleveland Browns coach. Colt McCoy autograph football. Greg Little autograph football. Joe Thomas autograph football. Brandon Whedon autograph football. Josh Cribbs autograph football. Travis Benjamin autograph football. Connor Shaw autograph football. Phil Dawson autograph football. Gary Collins autograph football. And for younger people, Gary Collins was a wide receiver for the Browns back in the 70s. Bernie Kosar autographed mini helmet. So not a full-size helmet, but just a little mini helmet, which are easier to put on someone's desk or something like that, but autographed by Bernie. An autographed mini helmet from Kevin Johnson, who was a wide receiver for the Browns just in the expansion era there in 1999. And then Alex Mack autographed mini helmet. We also have an autographed ball cap by Tristan Thompson of the Cleveland Cavaliers. We have a basket that will be filled with about 25 different types of vitamins. So there'll be a basket for people that health nuts. There'll be a vitamin basket. There'll be a basket filled with children's movies with some popcorn and candy and things like that. Harley Davidson of Erie has put together a motorcycle cleaning basket that's got all kinds of Harley Davidson official motorcycle cleaning supplies, along with a zip-up hoodie and a t-shirt with a wash bucket. We're going to have about 5 or 6 what we call Spartan Spirit baskets that'll have some t-shirts and different Spartan logo items in them. We'll have at least a half a dozen different toy baskets that'll have just all kinds of different toys in them for kids. Some will be boy themed, some will be girl themed. We've got a set of tickets to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. We've got a set of 4 season passes to the Spark Complex for next year's football season. The prison donated. The prison donated quite a bit this year, and I want to spend a minute on that because, they do some amazing work out there with the inmate program as far as the items that they can build. And last year they made us some beautiful Arondack chairs that we auctioned off that were a huge hit. So I reached out to the warden again and said, hey, is there any chance you guys could build us something again? He said, sure, what would you like? I said, well, whatever you guys are doing at this time would be fine. The chairs were a big hit last year, but I'll leave it up to you guys. So I said, okay, we'll get something done. So he said, what do you need to buy? I said, I'd love to have it by June 1st so I can show it off. And so they got a hold of me and they said, we've got some stuff for you. And they brought over a truckload. First thing they did is they made us some cornhole boards. And they made cornhole boards that are Conneaut Spartan cornhole boards. And they had one of their inmates airbrush Spartans on these cornhole boards. And they're beautiful. So anybody that's seen the Christmas cards that they did this past year with the airbrushing will understand the detail and quality. But for those of you that want new cornhole boards that are Conneaut themed, these are one of a kind. You're going to want to check these out. We also have cornhole boards that are Ohio State cornhole boards that Tony Borowski donated that he made. So if you're wanting something that is from the national champions, then we got some Ohio State cornhole boards as well. But then the prison also made us 2, they call them planter stands or planter tables. They're about 4 or 5 foot tall, like gardening tables that you can put outside with a bench top and then a little shelf up above. So we've got 2 of those that we're going to be auctioning off each as separate items. And then they made us 2 benches, like outdoor benches. And each bench is probably a 2-seater. And then it has a huge like arbor trellis above it. And each one of them is about 8 foot tall.
Really?
So we've got 2 of those. So they actually made us 5 different items to put in the auction. And you know, if you were to go out and try to buy any one of these things, they're easily over $200 a piece to pick one of these things up. So those things are just beautiful. As to
that leads me to a question.
Sure.
And I'm like you, I'm not real familiar with Chinese auctions, even though I've talked about them with Darlene Brisley and all that stuff, with all the things she's put on. So, say I want one of those autographed footballs. I just go up and say I'll bid $20 or
no. This is what's going to happen. You're going to buy tickets, okay? And we're going to sell tickets. They'll be $1 a piece, 6 for $5, or 15 for 10. And you're going to put your tickets in the bucket for the one that you want. And the way Chinese auction works is we draw a ticket out of that bucket. So if you really want something, you got to put more tickets in there and increase the odds of winning that item.
Okay, but how do I know what I'm paying?
Well, you don't. You're not paying anything.
Really?
So what happens is you're just buying chances to win it.
You're kidding?
No.
Because I always thought that you made your money from...
We make our money from the sale of the tickets.
That's it.
That's it. So what we want you to do is buy a lot of tickets because we got really nice items. So if you really want something, you're going to buy a lot of tickets to make sure you flood that bucket to get that item.
Okay. I don't know if they all work that way, but...
Well, that's how this one's working.
Okay, so, that's fine. That would be easy for me.
Well, yeah, and so we're going to do something else with that too, and I'll explain that here after I go through some more items. Because we got some. I want to make sure people hear some of the other items we have, because there's a couple other doozies as we get through here. We have a Sirius XM radio that was donated. So if someone wants to have one of those, I know a lot of cars are equipped with them now, but this is one that you can take from car to car. You can bring it in the house. So a Sirius XM radio. We're going to have at least 2 different pet baskets of different supplies for your animals. A company called Silpada does jewelry, like, I don't know, like one of those custom jewelry type deals that women buy through catalogs.
Yeah.
So we got a couple necklaces from Silpada that retail for about $170 a piece. We also have some jewelry from a company called Alex and Annie. Same concept, about an $80 bracelet. Company Fathead, those big oversized logos that people put on their walls, they donated a Cleveland Indians logo. So we have a Fathead Indians logo. Western Digital donated what's called an external hard drive. It's for people to store information on their computers. It's for computer savvy people. It's a 1 terabyte external hard drive. They're worth about $180, $190. So, you know, if you store a lot of photos or movies or something on your computer, these are, and it's portable, so you can take it with you places. We have Dyson donated a Dyson DC65 animal vacuum cleaner. So we have a Dyson vacuum.
Wow.
I mean, they tell us it retails for $650. So anyone that needs a vacuum cleaner, this is the place to put your tickets. I mean, it's the top of the line Dyson that's available. The Snow Trackers Snowmobile Club made up a lottery tree. So they bought $75 worth of lottery tickets, hung them on a little tree branch, and it looks awesome. So you chance at lottery tickets. An HP PhotoSmart printer, a nice gardening set. The telephone company donated 4 Indians tickets. So we'll have Indians tickets. We're also doing what I'm calling the Boys of Summer ticket package. And what we're doing there is we're going to take like tickets to Lake County Captains and the Erie Seawolves and the Akron River Ducks. We're taking more than just one set. We're taking multiple games, and you're going to get multiple games in one prize. So you can see more than one game.
Wow.
So instead of just getting one set of tickets, you're getting 3 or 4.
Right.
We're going to do something called the Ultimate Pizza Crawl, where you're going to get 1 or 2 or 3 or however many pizzas from multiple different pizza joints around town.
Okay.
So, last year there was, I think, 17 pizzas combined in that package. So, like I said, instead of just taking something small, we're combining things together. There'll be a TV. I don't know what size. I'm sure it'll be an LCD, but there'll be a nice TV as one of the options. A 1-year subscription to the Star Beacon. That's about a $185 gift. Amanda and Company salon on Washington Street put together a very nice basket of, probably over $100 worth of items and things that they've donated. And then we also came up with, like, I call them day trips, like a day in Cleveland, a day in Erie, a day in Youngstown. And those will have things like, there'll be passes to like museums or zoos or things like that. And we'll put 4 or 5 different things in Erie all together, or 4 or 5 things in Pittsburgh all together. And then we'll throw in some kind of restaurant gift card. So you can go and do a couple things on that day and then get something to eat. So that, I mean, those day trips will be a couple $100 items when it's all said and done. And it'll give you, instead of just going down and seeing one thing, you can fill a whole day up. But, you know, and Rich McBride donated a beautiful, and I don't know on my list because he just gave it to me the other day, a beautiful photograph of you know, storm coming in, you know, over the break wall. Yeah, it's beautiful. And Bill Dalton gave us 2 beautiful prints, one of a lighthouse and then another scene. So we've got some great stuff.
I want to talk to you about that too. First, we'll take this call. Hi, you're on the air.
Hey, morning, Pat, Chris.
Morning.
You know, I heard you talking about all the autograph balls and whatnot. Now, Dolly's son plays golf with one of the LA Rams, played 83 to 89, I believe, and 1 year with the Jets. Plays golf with him if you had a football, if you wanted his signature. And then he plays golf with one of the Duck hockey players, Lewinsky or something like that. I don't know what his name is, but he got a hockey puck and wanted him to sign it. I'm sure we could get that done.
Well, that's a nice offer there, James.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure I could get some items together and we could see if we can make that happen. So I'd appreciate that.
Yeah, it's been a while since Mark Giroux played for the Rams, but and the other guy, the hockey player, he plays golf with them guys all the time. And he even got his picture taken with John Bonner, the Speaker of the House.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Boehner, yeah.
Yeah, he sees a lot of people, and I don't know, they're all kind of old guys now, but
In their day.
if you want it, maybe I can get it done for you.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Thanks, Jim.
Thank you.
That's Jim Bailey, coming here from Anaheim every year. My question to you is, like, all those football player, I mean, how do you get those?
Okay. Well, some of the items were donated by different groups or individuals or businesses, and some of the items I acquired myself. You know, knowing that we were going to do this, I've been picking stuff up all year. So some things I look for when they're on sale or on clearance.
Yeah.
The footballs, I got the same way I got the Bernie Kosar one. You know, the NFL has like a charity auction site that you can buy things, and the Cleveland Browns are very active on the charity auction site where they are putting items up for sale, and then the proceeds from those sales go to their charity functions. So I've just been, you know, acquiring items. Some things I keep from personal, some things I've been buying with the intent to donate them back for different events that come up. So, you know, we've done some other footballs that I've used at other Chinese auctions or reverse raffles or golf outings. But, you know, I figure if I like them, other people must like them. So I've just been acquiring some of those, and then with the intent of knowing that they'd be good items for certain events.
2 names on that list of the players stand out: Alex Mack and Joe Thomas.
Sure, absolutely.
You know.
And being a former lineman, those are 2 of my favorite. I've got quite a bit of Joe Thomas autographed memorabilia and Alex Mack. And, you know, with both of them being, you know, Pro Bowlers, current players for the Browns, you know, those were items that were kind of harder for me to put in there, but I have duplicates of those. So
Yeah, I understand.
I didn't mind putting those out there because I have them, additional ones that I'm keeping for myself. But those are, I mean, the Joe Thomas, and he will be in the Hall of Fame. So,
No question.
You know, that's one, you know, his
I'm
autograph
afraid we're
football.
going to lose Mack.
Well, there's a chance, but you know, they're going to have him for at least this year, and you know, there's a chance they'll lose him. Now nobody can pay him more than us, so
Right.
it's hard to say. But that's why they drafted, you know, the kid out of Florida State,
Right.
Because they figured if they lose him, they'll have a replacement.
Yeah, right.
So, But yeah, I mean, the Joe Thomas is obviously probably one of the most desirable as far as the footballs go. And then the mini helmets, you got Mac, and then you got, the Bernie Kosar mini helmet. So, but some really neat items. But then, like I said, we're going to do the tickets, and this for the people that were at the game last year. What we did it differently. We did it was $5, and you got like 29 tickets for $5. Well, that was too cheap. Because people were getting so many chances for $5. We just didn't make enough money on the Chinese auction. Mm-hmm. So we're going to do it like some of the other ones do it, where it's $1 a piece, 6 for $5, or 15 for 10, or some people call it arm's length for 10. Now, what I am going to do to make it a little bit more easy on your wallet, if you want to look at it that way, a company by the name of Burt's Bees. I don't know if you've ever heard of them. They make like lip balm or chapstick and stuff like that. Like, it's higher end chapstick, and I mean, stuff goes for like $4 a chapstick. Well, we reached out to them. We reached out to a lot of companies nationally. They donated to us over 1,000 chapsticks or lip balms.
Really?
At $4 a piece. So if someone buys $10 worth of tickets at the game, we're going to give you 3 of the chapsticks. So you're going to spend $10. We're going to give you, basically your money back in chapstick. Mm-hmm. So encouraging you to buy the 15 at a time. But I'm hoping that you'll buy more than 15 at a time, because there's so many neat items, and there's more that we haven't even listed yet. That when we put these all out, it doesn't matter. Someone may say, "Well, geez, that's a lot of autographed footballs. I don't care about that." There's going to be other stuff. There's, if you don't want the autographed footballs, or for some crazy reason you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, there's going to be other stuff there that you're going to like. You're going to like the outdoor furniture from the prison. You're going to like the cornhole boards. You're going to like, the kids' toys. You're going to like
the vacuum.
The vacuum cleaner. You're going to like some of the other electronics that we're getting, the television. We also have 2 of these. They're called netbooks. They look like real tiny little laptops, and that's kind of what they act like. They're like a portable DVD player. They kind of look like that, but they got a keyboard. So it's just a little 9-inch portable laptop that gets you on the internet. So, but they're called netbooks. We have 2 of those. They retail for about $150 a piece. Mm-hmm. So if you want to get a small piece of electronic device that's portable, that you don't have to take your laptop places, those are available. We've got and like I said, more stuff's coming. And if someone out there says, well, Chris, you haven't asked us to donate yet. I'm asking you now. Donate to this. One thing that I'm trying to put together. And I've got to put some calls into ODNR, and I haven't been put on hold all day yesterday, is I had the idea of, wouldn't it be cool if we could get, a couple guys here and a couple guys there, each to donate, say 5 or 10 pounds of perch, and I'd get a cooler and maybe do like a 25 pounds of perch in a cooler as a lot item. Mm-hmm. And, some people were worried, well, can you do that in a Chinese auction? I think you can, because we're not actually selling the perch. People are buying tickets and putting them in the bucket to maybe win the perch, but I'm trying to get confirmation before we do that and get the donations. But if someone wants to donate perch, I'm hoping to get that official. You can call me up. I'd love to take your perch so that we can have that, because I know I would put all my tickets in for 25 pounds of perch. Yeah. And I mean, just think of what perch goes for per pound. That would be a heck of a nice...
I mean, you're talking like $16 a pound.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a really nice item. So, but, we're just looking for crazy, goofy ideas. Last year someone was going to donate a trip in an airplane for someone that wanted to fly around the county and take aerial shots. So we couldn't line it up, but if someone out there has a plane and wants to donate that, we'll take it. I'm looking for the unique, the different, the interesting, so that we can have something there for everybody. Whether you're there to watch the football game, whether you're there for the Chinese auction, whether you're there to watch the junior cheerleaders, you're going to have a good time, and you're going to help support Spark. And then there's one other thing I want to tell you that's new this year that I haven't even mentioned yet. But after the football game, when it's all said and done, we have another event that we're doing as a continuation of this for a fundraiser. After the game's over, we've worked with Days Inn and the Bombay Lounge, the restaurant out there. They're going to have an after party, a post-game party out there as to continue the fundraiser. And their cover charge that they will charge at the event, they're going to donate that entire proceeds back to Care for Kids. And they're going to have, games and 50-50 and the DJ and just have a fun night out there at Bombay Lounge afterwards. So we're encouraging 21 and over, of course, anybody that goes, to the game, or if you don't make it to the game, to come out to Bombay Lounge afterwards. And we're going to continue the fundraising efforts out there as a post-game after party out at Days
I was
Inn.
actually going to make a semi-joke about, you're going to have a dance.
And we are. We wanted to do a bonfire, but it's kind of hard with OSHA to get something, or the EPA to get that approved. So instead of a bonfire, we're having an after party out at Days Inn.
Kind of takes you back to the high school days.
Yeah, we're trying to cover all our bases. So like I said, even if we're trying to find something for everybody to have fun and yet still donate back to Spark.
Sure.
So the hope is that we raise at least $10,000 this night, and have fun doing it. Just over the weekend, we got another donation that it'll be like a 4th of July picnic basket. Our good friend Ron Ross donated 4, and he promised they'll be his best Delmonicos that he has available when they come in. So 4 Delmonicos will be put together as a package for a 4th of July kit. But now I warn whoever wins these, you need to call Ron in advance and tell him that you won the tickets as part of the Alumni Game Chinese auction, so he gets you his 4 best Delmonicos.
I'll tell you what, I just had 2 of his Delmonicos here last weekend, and oh my God, they were delicious. Very tender, aged, Asper aged.
Can make even the best cook have good steaks.
I know,
Yeah.
I did it on the grill in a rainstorm, and it came out fine.
Yeah.
But Chris and I have something in common. We go there on Saturdays and get our steaks for the weekend, so we do that. And he's taking good care of us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Ron Ross, good man. Well, here's the big question before I let you go, Chris. Last month, I think it was, we had that contest going for the library to win $25,000 through State Farm Insurance. And today, I wrote it down, believe it or not, I remembered, June 16th. Where are we at? Have you heard anything?
I haven't heard anything.
It's early.
And I be honest, I stopped in the office this morning to grab my stuff for the alumni game, and then I checked to see if there's any Lake County Captains games that I give tickets away, but there aren't until the end of the month, so I thought it'd be too early to give them away today.
Yep.
And I forgot to pull up my email to see if we had any announcements. So I will have to check, and I'll check with Kathy and see if she's heard anything.
Okay.
But I haven't heard anything yet to hear if we crack the top 40 or not. So.
I kind of figured it would be, maybe if it's going to be announced, it might not be till this afternoon or something.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that we're hoping, but we just don't know. So I'll check on that and see if Kathy's heard anything and
it seemed to me, Chris, that we were in the 50s, but that didn't mean anything because they might have stopped the counting information.
Because I didn't see a whole lot of movement from anybody at a certain point. So I think they kind of probably froze it, and it was really hard to tell if they just stopped showing the counter, moving. Mm-hmm. But it's, I'm hopeful, but it's hard to say with these contests, and then they got to do a validation, what that entails,
Sure.
and then there's some paperwork that each winner has to do, and if they don't complete it, then they go to the next person on the list. And sometimes with these, they may even push out the announcement date. Now I haven't heard that, but so even if we don't hear something today, and I can even try to find out if they're delaying the announcements or if they've made the announcements, then I'll know for sure. But I'll try to look into it, and if I find something out, I'll let you know.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Or I'll have Kathy let you know. It's probably see how she wants to do that.
Okay, that's fine.
So.
That's fine. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
And good luck to you with the alumni game.
Yeah.
Next Friday night, 7 o'clock kickoff at the Spark.
Come see me and buy your tickets, people.
Get them out. Get them in advance. They are on sale now. And you get them from Chris. You can also get them at Port County Credit Union or from any of the players that Chris
That's
mentioned
right.
earlier. So sounds like a lot of fun, Chris.
It should be.
A long evening of entertainment
All night.
next Friday.